Hey guys! So today I just want to talk to you about something that I think is really exciting. I have a lot of different Bible studies that I've been really excited to share, but I think it's really important that before I do that, I have to tell you about my cepher Bible because I know I made a video on my old channel about it, but I can't remember if it's still up. I can look, but I don't think I saw it last time when I did look. So I think that was one of the videos that I hadn't saved when I saved some of mine, but not all of them. So I need to make a new video about this Bible because it's a really, really good one. And before I do, I just wanted to talk about a couple of the verses that is kind of like inspiring this Bible study for me today. I've been really enjoying it. So first things first is about the cepher. So it's one of the Bibles or one of the books that were found in the cave number 4 with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it wasn't admitted into the Bible. Early Christians had used it, but if in the preface of this book, or this cepher, you can read about the entire process that they decided to kick it out. And basically, it was the Council of Laodicea. They discredited the book and was like, or like multiple books, which the cepher is a compilation of multiple books that were discredited by the Council of Laodicea that said we can't keep these books in the Bible. So if you are interested or you get a cepher for yourself, you're going to have a lot more books. There's like, I think over 14 or something like that are not admitted in the Bible. But they were also written like scriptures that were found pre-Jesus dates. And I think that they are important, and I'm going to talk about one of the books in particular, Enoch, today, but slowly and surely I'll go over all of them. So in the contents, you can see, like, first up, they have all of the same books in the Bible. So there's 66 books in the Bible. They have all of those, but they have more on top of it. And the order that they put these books in is different from the Bible. They put it in chronological order in the book of Cepher, so it's more like reading as, per date, like this came first and whatnot. You'll also have Jubilees, Enoch, which is the book I want to talk about today. Not a lot. There's so much in all of these books that I'm not going to talk about a whole lot of everything, but Enoch, Jasher, Tobit, Baruch, and if I say things wrong, if any of you guys are already tracking, I already know I'm saying things wrong. I'm still in the process of studying everything, and the language is definitely a barrier for me because I can't pronounce things correctly, or I'll constantly have to look back and see, oh, what does this name mean? Because I just don't know the language. But Wisdom of Solomon is different from Song of Solomon's. I at first had thought, oh, they must have renamed the Song of Solomon's Wisdom of Solomon's, or vice versa. But that's actually a whole other book that they have in here. They have additions to Esther, Judith, Prayer of Manasseh, Prayer of Azariah, Susanna, Bell and the Dragon, Ezra's. So there is Ezra in like our typical Bible, but the cepher has Ezra 3, 4, and /1 and 2 Esdras. So I haven't read those yet, so I'm curious what those are going to be about. Then they've got the Maccabees, 4 books of Maccabees, and then the rest of it is the New Testament, which is all the same, but it's just in different order. So, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. John is actually in the Gospel of John put before John 1, John 2, John 3, and a whole bunch of other rearranging. So basically what this book does, or the cepher, it compiles all the books in the Bible plus these other scrolls and books and writings that were discredited for whatever reasons. And in the preface, it says why it was discredited and why they think it's still important that we read it and know about it and whatnot. They also use I'm not sure if you can hear the bird on the cage. Hey, buddy, good job. You came all the way down here. Good job. Oh, yeah. She might climb up here. We'll see. Yeah, she's on the way. So anyway, they also use the restored names of places and people, which I think is really cool. And that's actually how I got started into getting a cepher for myself, is because I had learned that, like, Jesus's name wasn't Jesus. Like, I thought on earth he was always called Jesus and whatnot. And then, a few years ago, I actually learned it was Yeshua. So I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. So they used the restored names, restored some scriptures too, which they put a lot of all of that in the preface as well. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to read the whole preface to you. Like, it goes into all the details of like when these Dead Sea Scrolls were discredited and for what reasons and stuff like that. But I'm not going to do that in this video because I have other things I wanted to say. Basically about some of the apostles quoting the book of Enoch, and then I'm just going to leave it at that because otherwise it'd be too long of a video because I end up rambling sometimes. So anyway, the book of Enoch is where I want to go, and I'm only going to read a couple of the scriptures and where it's quoted in the Bible. But Enoch was written by a couple different authors. Hey, come here. A few different authors. Mainly Noah's great-grandfather, who is Enoch, is believed to be, come here, the main author of Enoch. So it was written in likely the 2nd century BCE, so before Christ. And then, like I said, it was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. So here we have in the Bible, before I read the quotations of it, I just wanted to read a couple words in the Bible that are really important, like for us to study the scriptures. Because I do believe that Enoch and a lot of these other books are considered the scriptures as well, and that they shouldn't have been discredited. I'm sure, I know lots of people have different opinions, but that's just how I believe. So one is in Psalms 119, 105. The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And then Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime, so before time, were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Come here. Oh my goodness, you silly birdie, do you want to come here or no? She keeps trying to claw at my foot, but now she doesn't want to come here. All right, and then last one is Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So I just wanted to say those first because it just goes to show how important the word of God is and knowing it. And I do believe that we should be studying these other scrolls that were found around the same time as these other books that were written, and at least give them a try, you know. Go off the Bible, but read them alongside it and see, like, make your own opinion on why you think it should be credited or discredited. Like, study it. That's why we're told to study. We're told to search. We're told to seek the Lord, and that's one of the ways to do it, because these were written, you know, for our history, for our learning. So, with that being said, I'm going to start with Matthew 5:5. Now there are so many other examples, and if you read the book of Enoch, you'll see, like, wow, I feel like this is the Bible. This is literally, I listened to the audiobook first, and I've read bits and pieces so far. I haven't read it, you know, word by word yet, but I've listened to the whole audiobook of it, and I'm like, wow, this literally sounds like the Bible, like so many parts of it. But I'm just going to name one here, or just two of them for the sake of time. Matthew 5:5, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And then if you go in Enoch 6:9, the elect shall possess light, joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. So there you go, inherit the earth, inherit the earth. That might not seem like much, but that's just one example. And then the other example is actually a direct quote, which I need to remember to mention where in the Bible Enoch is also mentioned. But this is the only other spot Enoch is mentioned, and it's in Jude 1, obviously because there's only one book in Jude, and 14:15. And Enoch also. So Jude, he's a half-brother of Jesus, and he obviously wrote his book of Jude after Jesus had died, around 67 to 69 AD. So obviously Jude was written a long time after Enoch. So he's definitely quoting here. The other quote that I said, was going to list out a bunch of other ones too, and like say, yeah, Matthew was written prior to or after the death, and here it's like an indirect quote where they use the same wording or they say very similar things. They talk about heaven, eternity, the tribulation, things like that. But in Jude 14 through 15, it says, and Enoch also, the seventh of Adam, so he was the seventh patriarch. Prior to the flood, there was 10, and he was the seventh of them, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. And in Enoch 2:1, it says, behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his Kadashim, to execute judgment upon them, and destroy the wicked, and reprove all the carnal for everything which the sinful and wicked have done, and committeth against him. So that's a direct quote, which says that Jude had been studying Enoch. There was other apostles that had also quoted, like we read with Matthew's and stuff, but Jesus himself also quoted, are you coming here? Come here. Yes. Come baby. Other apostles had also quoted from Enoch. So that is one that I just wanted to say. And then before I finish, I'm going to go to the beginning of the Bible and say one more. So this is where Enoch is first mentioned in the beginning, and it's the genealogy of the patriarchs in Genesis 5:21 through 24. After mentioning, well, actually, I'm going to go to 19 through 24, but it mentions, everyone from like down from Adam and Seth, and then it goes to Enos and Canaan and Mahalalel and Jared. And then after Jared, you have begot Enoch. Okay, so and Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters. So obviously all these people were living for long periods of times. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. And Enoch, this is the part that's crazy. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. So here it says that he had, while he was living on earth, he had walked with God for 365 years. Sorry, let me double check that. Because he lived for, and Enoch walked with God after he begot 300 years. 300 years. And then he lived for 365 years. Which is crazy to think. Like, he lived that long, and 300 of the years he was walking with God. So, and he also is believed to be the main author and Noah's great-grandfather. So, I think it would be important for us to read Enoch or listen to an audio book or learn about it, because if it is one of the scriptures, think about what we can learn with someone who had walked with God for 300 years. So, that's basically, in a nutshell, a summary of the Cepher Bible. And I wanted to put that out here and just give those few references, because in my next videos, I'm going to be talking about using the Cepher a whole lot. So that's basically it. Besides that, I hope all of you guys have been doing good. I haven't even gone on the channel, or if you've commented or anything like that. I'm sorry if I haven't got back to you. I've been pretty busy, and I'm moving, and it's going to be a wild ride for me. But I wanted to make another video and post something out there, and especially this one, because I have so many cool Bible studies that I've been doing, like especially with the help of the cepher. And so I wanted to put it out there. And in my next videos, as I, talk about anything, I'll mention if I'm using this in case you don't believe in this book or you don't believe in these writings. And I'll mention the differences between like my favorite version, which is the King James Version, and this. But I have found it super helpful too. Like I could just give one more example. I want to keep this short, but there's this Bible scripture in, my bad, in, where is it? 1 Corinthians, and it's also mentioned in Samuel. But let me pull up the one in Corinthians first. Well, actually, I'll go to Samuel, because that's closer, right? First Samuel, I believe it was in 4:9. Yep. Okay. 1 Samuel 4:9. It says, "Be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men and fight." And then in 1 Corinthians, it uses the same verbiage here. And everyone, as they read the scriptures, sometimes with the King James Version and whatever, they just kind of like interpret in between the words. But I'm a very, I see it and that's what it is type of a person. So for me, I run into that wording and I'm like, what in the world do they mean? So this other one in 1 Corinthians 16:13, it says, "Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong." And I'm like, what does "quit you like men" mean? Oh, don't fall. And what does, oh my goodness, birdie. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Birdie's interesting me. What does "quit you like men" mean? Like, most translations will just change that verse completely, or like change it enough, like be strong in the faith, or be firm, or something like that. But when I'm reading the Bible, I'm like, "Quit you like men." What does that have some sort of meaning? And then I read in the cepher, and it says in 1 Samuel 4:9, "Be strong and be yourselves like men, O ye." It doesn't say Philistines here. It says Philishitim. Again, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. "That ye be not servants unto the Ivrim, as they have been to you. Be yourselves like men and fight." And then where was the other mention of it? 1 Corinthians. It's harder for me to find things in the cepher since it's not the same order that I'm used to. And it's a lot bigger book too. 1 Corinthians 16. Yep, 16:13. "Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, act you like men, be strong. Let all your things be done with love." Oh, I read the 14th verse as well. In the King James Version, that verse is the same, except that the King James Version says charity, which means love, and then the cepher says love for love. So it has two different meanings here. And in the other one in Samuel, it said, "Be yourselves like men and fight." And then this one, it says, "Act you like men," instead of "quit you like men." So to me, these translations make more sense. Act you like men, like act like men, be mature, be grown up, don't act like a child anymore, be a man, fight, or whatever. And then in the King James Version, "quit you like men," it's just that language, which there's multiple verses that have given me like slight headaches trying to learn what it means. So at the end of the day, I will be reading out of the cepher more, and I'll give a little bit more details with each time that I pull it out. That way I can like share it with you if you're interested, and you can join the fun, because I've been having a really good time reading this Bible. So anyway, I will try to put the link down, if I could remember, on where I got my cepher Bible in case you want one as well, and I will make another video sometime really soon. But bye.